Okay, enough talk. Let's look at EEG. Here we have Shane Zisman. Let's give him a hand. And what we're going to be seeing is the real-time electrical activity going on in Shane's brain at this very moment. Very good. So this is Shane's brainwaves right now. Now this very front top, that's over the eyes. You can blink 3 times, Shane. 1, 2, 3. Very good. This is a signal coming from the movement of the eyes. It's actually on the outside of the skull, and that's why it's so much higher above the EEG. Now, what we see here is Technicolor, but Shane's brain is not in Technicolor. And here we see a brain laughing here. Let's look at just one signal, and that will help us go more deeply into what is happening inside. So what we have here is, this is from the front of the brain. Now this is a second here. You notice this very fast activity going on. It's going up about 20 times per second. This is the fast activity of the brain processing, thinking, experiencing. We're going to add one other signal. This one is going to be in the back. So this top one is the front, this bottom one is the back. This is what the brain is doing when 700 people are looking at you. But this is the back part of the brain. This is vision. The back part of the brain is taking in all of the lights and the colors, deciding what the picture is out there. Then it sends it to the front part of the brain, and the front part of the brain tries to decide what to do with it. Now the point I want you to notice is just how different these two signals are. There's very little similarity between the up and down of this signal and the rising and falling of this signal. Next, we'll see what EEG is like when Shane closes his eyes. So you can close your eyes, Shane. This is very good. Notice, now this is the back. Remember what the back was? That's right, that's vision. Everything that falls on your retina actually streams to the back of the brain and keeps this part of the brain really, really active. All Shane has done is close his eyes. You've cut all that information going to the back of the brain. This is what you see. This is rhythmical alpha activity. It goes up and down 8 to 12 times per second. And this is a signature of the brain which is restful and alert. This part of the brain isn't processing anything. The eyes are closed, but you're awake. You can process, you can think. Notice up here in the front, the EEG is still very fast, it's very active. That's because even though the eyes are closed, this whole mental chatter is still going on, thinking, evaluating, like that. So you can open your eyes again, Shane. What we'll do now is we'll start from eyes open, and then we'll have Shane close his eyes. He'll begin transcendental meditation practice. What I want you to do is particularly look in this top lead, the front. We'll begin to see that signature of restful alertness, that alpha activity in the front of the brain. Good, Shane, so you can begin TM practice. So this has been about 16 seconds, but notice here is this rhythmical alpha activity which before we saw in the back is now seen in the front of the brain. Even though we have only 2 signals here, this is representative of what's happening over the entire brain. And this restfully alert signal is that signal of transcending. Now we'll take just another minute. We'll continue to watch the EEG of transcending. Notice this, notice the amplitude, notice the amount of this, the density of this activity in the front, also the back. And also follow the signal going up and down. You notice it going up and down here in the front. Notice it's going up and down very similar in the back. This is what coherence is, when the rising and falling of the signal in one part of the brain correlates with the rising and falling of the signal in another part of the brain. This is that mark of total brain functioning, that mark of restful alertness, where there's silence, there's wakefulness, and this becomes the basis for clearer thinking. Very good, Shane. So now you can stop meditating. And then as he opens his eyes, we're seeing the fast activity again of a brain which is actively processing. So let us go back to what this all means. Because the whole value of practicing TM is it leads to an experience inside, but that leads to a specific style of brain functioning. And swinging the brain back and forth allows you to have that style of functioning brain during meditation, during activity. And this is very valuable. What will your brain be like when you graduate from college? We've asked that question. We've created a brain integration report card to answer it. What this actually charts is growing brain integration in activity over time. We're actually administering this to our first-year students at Maharishi University of Management when they come in as freshmen, and then when they like throughout their college career, but also as seniors. Because the information that you get in your class, unfortunately, is going to be obsolete. 80% of it will be obsolete in 5 years. So, that's your 4 years of college education. So what you want to do is something which will be lasting. And what is lasting is that quality of brain connections which underlie clear thinking, clear planning. So I'd like to leave you with a thought. This is going back to the Wizard of Oz motif. This is the end of the Wizard of Oz, and here we have the wizard, and here we have the scarecrow. Do you remember what the scarecrow wanted? A brain. He wanted a brain. He went through all of this trials to get a brain. So here he is at the end, and what is the wizard giving him? A piece of paper. This is my recommendation to you. Don't be content with just getting a piece of paper from your college education. Thank you very much.